our next interview is Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Oh no, I can't hear you yet.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, I'm excited to interview you too. So tell us a little bit more about you and your background and kind of where you're at.
Okay. Well, my name's Carrie Sullivan, and um, I'm in phase 3 hustler, which I just started, so I haven't gotten through that at all. But um, I currently am still in my day job. I'm the chief human resource officer for a real estate investment and development firm. So we're dealing a lot with hospitality, hotels and restaurants and
Wow.
fitness centers. And so it's not a good time right now to be in HR. um, so I joined CRP in probably right around the same time as Ashley. It was September of 2017.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so I've been in for quite a while now. And I found you. I was trying to think where I found you, but I know that when I first joined, I joined the it was the business plan template boot camp, I think is what it was for CRP. So I don't know if it came up in my email or just in, some of the things that I was on that I saw it and I signed up and have been in ever since. So
Awesome. I love it. So you have the day job, like, and you have this business that you want to start. So what were the problems and challenges that you had in the beginning?
yeah, I think forever I've always wanted to have my own business. I just always have, and I always felt like life was getting in the way. And I just got to the point where I have to quit saying that. If I really want to do this, I have to start. And my kids are grown. I have 3 grown kids and I have 9 grandkids. So the 9 grandkids keep me busy. Um,
Yes.
but I
So
feel
many
like
blessings there. That's awesome.
when I still feel like I don't have the time. Like I know there's a lot of people that have their kids at home, but I am very involved with my kids and my grandkids. So I'm busy with that. And my job is it's very it takes a lot of my time. So I'm putting in 14-hour days. And so I get up at 3:45 every morning so I can get my workout in. And then I'm off to work by 6 or 6:30. And so I'm up late just doing my side hustle. So it's been a challenge for me. When I first started, my biggest challenge was really trying to figure out my niche. And so I worked a lot on that. I worked on, just myself and what I liked and what my hobbies were and what I thought I would be able to help others. And when I first started out, it was a different niche. I'm in financial coaching now, but I started out in a different niche and I worked on it for about a year and I realized that it was really a smaller part or maybe even more of a process to the niche that I'm in now. And when I switched over, I just knew right away. It was such
Yeah.
a big difference for me. And I knew, and it was so much easier for me to work on and so much more fun that I could really tell the difference.
I bet that
Um,
was hard to make that switch too after working on one for a year, but then knowing, like you knew, like intuition that wasn't the
yeah.
right path.
And at first I beat myself up over it, like I wasted a whole year. But then I really started thinking that I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go through that journey. And that journey is really what helped me find this and get me in the right niche. So it doesn't matter where we start, we're going to have to go through some pain points and some learning and we'll eventually find what we want.
Definitely. So what
Yeah.
did you think of the success path once you joined? Like what was kind of like the first step that you took?
Well, I started in phase 0 and I love the success path because I like organization and I like structure. And I joined CRP because I didn't know where to start and what to do. And you can look up anything online, but like CRP, it's giving it all to me in a framework where if I just tried to hunt for it online, I might get stuff, but it's going to be pieced together. And I'm learning from somebody who's already done it and knows how to do it and can teach it. So I love that structure and that framework.
I love that. And did you have any doubts like right then when you joined?
Prior to me signing up, I was nervous because I kept thinking, what am I getting into? And is this really worth it? But the minute I got in, I didn't have any doubts. I knew the minute I saw your material and what you did and the community, just the support and being able to talk to other women that are exactly where I was, or, were behind me or ahead of me. And it just felt like, my job doesn't know that I have my side hustle, but it was a safe place where I could talk about it. And there were other people in there that were kind of in the same place. So I like the support and just being able to reach out to other people. And everybody has been so amazing. I mean, there's always somebody there that's willing to help. And if you get down or you're not feeling good or you're unmotivated, if you just make a comment in the group, you'll be amazed at how many people reach out to you.
Yeah, definitely. It's awesome. It's an amazing community. I love it.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest themes that's come up today too is like how you do just take your time and go through it, in your own time and space. And you're a great example, right? Like starting in 2017, and then I would say like when do you see you really made, because there was a switch for you of like really committing. Maybe it was when you switched your niche. Because I noticed you, right? Like you made the switch and then all of a sudden you're committed and the wins were coming like left and right. So tell me about that point when you really made the commitment to following the plan.
Because first of all, it was hard for me when I realized that the first niche just wasn't working for me. And I think that's where I got a little bit more quiet in the group, because I just felt like, at first I felt like, okay, I'm failing, but I've learned so much from that. And everybody's going to fail at some point. No matter what you do, you are going to keep failing until you get it right or find out where you want to go. So those failures really are stepping stones to get where you want. And I think actually the aha moment was probably with my husband too, because I had my background with the financial coaching is I went through Dave Ramsey, and it was years ago. And I started out by myself without my husband, and that was a struggle. And then he got on board, but there's a story there that we went through, and just everything we did to become debt free. And I have people, family and friends that reach out to me. And there was two people that had recently asked me, and I did a lot of budgeting and I showed them how to do it. And, even my husband said, you love to do this. You work on our budget. We work together, but I do the budget side of it,
Yeah.
but I help others.
Same here.
But I don't know. Somebody else you were interviewing earlier said, maybe I take that for granted, because I'm like, what do I have to teach people? Even though I struggled through all of it, once I started doing it, and because I like spreadsheets and I'm kind of a geek that way, I just felt like, well, who's going to want to know this? Or, what do I have to teach them? But the more I started looking at it, people did come to me. They didn't know how to start. And some of the things I'm doing now, I didn't know in the beginning. And that's kind of when my path crossed with Dave Ramsey again. And so that's when I started looking at that financial master coach training. And I just knew the minute I got in there, I just knew I love this. Because in HR, I don't get to pick my clients. I'm at a job. These are people that are hired, and I like helping people, but I want to help people that want to help themselves. And that's what I love about this community. These people are in here because they want to do something better for themselves. And they may not be there yet. And sometimes it's a struggle to even push yourself or to do things that you're not comfortable with. But it's a different community. People aren't making excuses as to why they can't do things. They want to do it, and it's just a different, it's still coaching. I think HR is a lot of coaching, but it's a lot of babysitting too. And I think where I am right now with financial coaching, my target market and my client are people that want this for themselves. It's not something they have to do. It's something that they want to do, that they're at this point that I need help to do it.
Definitely. So what do you think would have happened if you would have continued along the same path, but instead of following the success path?
Well, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. And if I wouldn't have joined your group and really started that success path, um, I probably would still be thinking that I'll be at my job until I retire. And even though I'm still at my job, and it's a very good job, it's not what I want to do. I want to work for myself, and I want to be able to help people that want to learn from me what I have, that what I can offer to them. And my huge, huge part of this and what I'm doing is because um, I I feel for women, I can so relate to empowering us to do what we want. I mean, I have friends that, they're stuck in their jobs too, or, even on the financial side, they don't know their financials in their own household. I have a friend who doesn't even know what their husband makes. And, that's their situation. But I just feel like we all need to empower ourselves. And I think that freedom, that, financial freedom can get you there, as well as just that freedom, the abundance and the mindset. And I feel so strongly about that I I do. We can all be there. We can all empower ourselves to be there, but we need to stand together as a group and help each other. And that I want that so bad. And I know when I did the Facebook Live with you, I talked about the mindset that you have to know your why and your vision. And that's what I learned from you. I mean, you can learn the mechanics of setting up your business and your LLC and your business name and all of that. But the vision and the why and the goals, those are the things I think that people they kind of shrug off or think that it's not as important. But it's really, when you start doing that, it's hard, but it drives you. When I had to start putting in writing what I wanted, I mean, I thought I knew what I wanted, but when I started writing that down, it's hard and you just keep going. And now I'm finally at a point where I know what I want and I have it in writing and I know where I'm headed. And that is huge. And,
Yeah.
not just the financial coaching, but just being able to empower other women that way. That's my why.
Love it. Your confidence has increased so much too, and you can tell that you're so passionate about this. You got to do another Facebook Live on what you just talked about right there. That's your homework.
Okay.
But I think knowing your why, knowing your vision helped you, because I know in the beginning you were scared, right? Like you had a lot of fear, and I think that has helped you, right? Like when you have a bigger reason, that bigger why, your fears seem like small, right?
Yeah.
When there's so many women, all these women who need what you have to say, so that's encouraging just in and of itself.
Yeah. And I think when you get there, when your mindset changes and it's something that you want so bad, it's easier to talk about. It's easier to do a Facebook Live when you're talking from that passion versus I'm going to memorize this because, it's not really my passion, but this is what I'm working on kind of thing. People see that.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's the difference, right? And I know we were talking about how do you stand out from competition. Your passion, like that passion will make you stand out from the competition too. So
yeah.
what are some of the then results now that you've had over these last 2 months? You've been go, 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 sharing all the wins. You're kind of on a jumping point here. What are some of the results and the wins that you've had recently?
Well, I did, once I got through the financial coach master training, and that was really from knowing my vision and my why. Um, and that was in November. So then I started, prospecting and getting leads. And in January, I started working on setting up my business. And in February, that's where it really took off because I set up my LLC. I got my Facebook page going. I really started revamping my webpage, which I'm actually working with someone right now. So it should be done in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited because I had to kind of
Yay.
switch over from my other niche. But and then I got my first client in February. And so I've got my financial coaching practice going. So and I feel like I did that all in the month of February, but it led up. I mean, the financial coaching, that took me months to finish that with the Dave Ramsey, and then setting up the coaching practice and getting my LLC going and getting my Facebook up. So yeah, those were my big wins. So, and then when I
Yeah.
just doing the Facebook Live for you was, I was so scared, but when I did it was a way that pushed me because I knew when you asked me, I wanted to do it. And I thought, okay, I've heard you say this so much that when you do your challenges, like sometimes you're not writing every day for those challenges. You don't have it all done the week before.
Yeah.
You're doing it as it goes because you're finding out what people need. So when I did that Facebook Live with you, I thought, okay, now I've got to practice this and really know what I'm doing. And it helped me structure my budget as far as the training side. But then
Yeah.
I thought, okay, then I'm going to go into a 5-day challenge, which after I did that, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I thinking? Because I had to piece that together every night as I was doing it. So I was up late getting ready that night for the next day challenge. So that was a big win for me just to do the challenge. I knew I wouldn't have a lot of people, and that really wasn't my goal. My goal was to go through the whole process and understand it and learn from it. And so now I really feel like my next one, it's not going to be my best, but it's going to be better than what I did. So I think those were some big wins recently.
Definitely. Yeah. So for those of you guys who aren't in class and didn't see, Carrie did a training on how to put your financial budget together for a year, and it's in the class Facebook group. So you can go into the unit section in the class Facebook group and get that training and get all her budgeting resources too. So that was every month we do a member share. So our members get to share their expertise and their experience. So that was amazing. I got a lot of great feedback on that one, Carrie.
Thank you.
So what would be like your biggest words of wisdom for someone who's, just thinking, who's been in a career for a long time and actually has a pretty good career, like you just said, but is like, is there something else out there? Like, what would be your advice to them?
Well, for one, I have joined other groups and been in them, and this is really the best community that I've ever been in. And it's why I've been in it since, 2017. I mean, because there's always something you can learn in this group. Whatever phase you're in, there's always going to be something. And then there's going to be something that you can help the group with and give back. So I think the biggest thing I learned in this group is there's always going to be somebody behind me and there's always going to be somebody ahead of me. So don't beat yourself up. Where you are is the right place, and you can help the people that are behind you and learn from the people that are ahead of you. But no matter what, you're in the right place where you need to be at that time. So don't beat yourself up and don't compare yourself to other people. I think one of the questions was about being jealous, like if somebody else
Yeah.
is, I look at amazing people, and I have amazing people in my accountability group that are doing so well. And one is really in my niche a little bit. We have a little bit different, but both in the money niche. And there's room for everybody, because if we all say that, oh, they're already doing it, none of us would be doing this right now, because everybody is out there doing it. We just have to find out what we can how we can show our skills. My skills, someone else can be a financial coach, and my skills somebody might relate to, but if they don't, they could relate to another financial coach. So I'm not jealous when I look at somebody's beautiful website or all the work they've done. I'm envious of where they are, but I appreciate it because I'm learning from them as well. So I think
Exactly.
that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing I've learned.
And tell us about the accountability group, because that is a benefit inside of class. Corianne helps you guys get matched up into accountability groups. So tell us, like, what's your how has that worked for you? Like, is there any words of wisdom for someone who's gonna be in an accountability group soon?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of accountability groups, not just in CRP, but this is my favorite group. I just think that um, we've hit it off, and we're not much, but I think we're all in the same set, and we're all even though we're at different places, I think we're close, and um, we we really help cheer each other on. And I mean, in our accountability group, when I was doing the Facebook Live for you, I actually went in the accountability group and practiced over and over again
Nice.
doing lives in there. And so I said, you guys are going to be so sick of me. I said, you don't have to listen to them, but it was a safe place for me with, three other women that I could go and
Yeah.
practice that. But we reach out to each other throughout the week. We message each other and we meet once a week. And we've helped each other. If we see something that someone else is working on and we can say, hey, check this out, or vice versa. Um, but I would say, because I've been in different accountability groups, if you're in a group that just you guys are not clicking, or maybe it's not something that you're looking for, don't be afraid to speak up, or look for another group. It's not it, and
Yeah.
don't take offense if you're somebody that someone's saying I'm looking for someone else, because you really have to find somebody that you click with. And we're all in here together and we're all helping, but it doesn't mean we're going to click with what we need in that accountability group. So just really make sure that you're in the right group. And if you are in a group, you know, be there. You have to be present, because otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But my group is awesome, and accountability
Yay.
groups are awesome. So
I love it. So where can people find you online, Carrie?
Um, well, I have my Facebook page, which is Financial Freedom Evolution. And then my website is financialfreedomevolution.com. If you go there right now, though, it's not up. I mean, I think my landing page on there is from my challenge that I did, but the page will be up in the next couple weeks, hopefully.
Okay.
And then actually I'm not in there. I just started my Instagram because my accountability group told me I should set that up. So I set it up yesterday. And actually I went on there and found I had 3 followers, and I only have one thing on
Yay.
there. So there's not much on there, but
Awesome.
Facebook page is probably the best.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carrie, for being here and for sharing your story with us.
Thank you. And thank you for this community. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.